Hey, my water signs, how are you? This is my last reading, 3 down. You guys are next. So, if you guys are of water element, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or have any of those placements, then this will be your new moon reading in Gemini at this time. All right, my water signs, let's get right into it as always. I have pre-shuffled and pulled out 3 astrological energies that correlates with this new moon in Gemini. And in fact, speaking of Gemini, this is one of the astrological energies that have been pulled from my astro deck. Gemini relates to cross-pollinate. So we're going to tap in a second to see what area did you guys need to, or is calling for you guys to cross-pollinate, which simply means to communicate, open up those lines of communication. Then the next energy that we're going to tap into is the 3rd house, because Gemini rules the 3rd house and it's about communication. So just like I mentioned with the other readings, it's that this is the main overall focus with this new moon. Not only discernment, but communication is very much needed. And then the last energy we will close out with is the planet Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini, and it's about messages. We're going to see what final messages did Spirit have for you water signs. All right, water signs, let's get started. So before we get into your cards, just like I did with the other readings, I am going to read to you exactly when it says pollinate. Oh, I'm sorry. I am kind of tired, but I'm also hot over here. So bear with me. So cross-pollinate. Gemini asks us to weave a web of connections and build networks with humor in all forms of communication. It says here, words are at the heart of the issue you are facing, and not just any words, but real dialogue. If you feel tension in the situation, see what is blocking the lines of communication and open that aperture. The soul knows how to find itself back in equilibrium if we just let all parts communicate. So there we have it. So now we're going to see how that all of that I just mentioned, how this correlates with you guys in terms of cross-pollinating. So when asked, the cards that have come out pertaining to that, we have the Page of Swords, 6 of Wands, and a major arcana, the Death card. Okay, so these are the 3 cards that have come out for you guys pertaining to how and what area you guys needed to communicate. So let's talk about this first energy of the Page of Swords. So swords, automatically we know it does deals with communications. It can, depending on what swords energy, it can also relate to some type of action, but generally it's about some sort of communication. So definitely communication is needed. Now I will say that I feel that for some of you, now I don't know if I mentioned that even though this is a collective of you water signs, still know that this is a general. So take the parts that resonate. If it doesn't resonate, just, it's okay. It's not your story. So maybe, if this first energy of the cards here doesn't resonate, maybe the next one will. And if that don't resonate, then maybe the last part will. So like I said, if it doesn't, just leave it for your fellow water signs. All right. So I was trying to say that I feel that some of you, I will say that right off the bat with these energies, that whatever situation this is, that this has already happened. So I feel that we are definitely speaking about, when we speak about these energies of the Page of Swords, the 6 of Wands, and the Death card, that this in fact is a situation that you guys have already dealt with. Doesn't necessarily have to be. Maybe you guys are going through this right now, and this is something that you are going to put an end to. So there is an ending, and the Page of Swords is a form of communication. It's like information, but for me, it's like information, kind of similar. Excuse me, kind of similar to the reading that I gave the fire element, where their energy was about internal. I think it was internal, that they needed communication within themselves. And so I'm kind of slightly picking this up, that it's information in terms of something that you needed to ascertain for yourself to be able to communicate what it is that you need to communicate to someone, because the pages are like messengers. They bring news. Sometimes it's delayed news. So this could be something that you guys have been delaying and putting off, or you had been delaying communicating with someone that needed to know the truth about something. Okay, now the Six of Wands is also an energy of victory, success. But you guys right now, and this will change, you guys haven't been feeling like you have won. You have been dealing with so many challenges and so much hurt and pain that you guys have pretty much felt like one of those things where it's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. And it's like, I can't win for losing. Or when you think you are winning, you feel like you are losing. And this is the opposite energy of what I'm feeling with the Six of Wands for some of you, right? Put it where it fits you. If it don't fit, don't try for it to fit. But I'm feeling and picking that up that for some of you, you are feeling like you have been losing. But with the Death card here, it shows that you guys have actually either conquered or you are about to conquer. Because the Death always symbolizes an end to something that you have finally realized that need to end. If you did listen to my overview, and if you didn't, I will reiterate that under this new moon, it's also basically finding what sorts of habitual habits or behavior we may need to let go of in order to be totally free. And that's what exactly you guys have been doing. It's almost like you guys have went through, there's an expression. One second. There's an expression because I also wanted to read what these other energies symbolize. But there was one expression, and I like that expression because I feel that this is where you guys are in currently. So just give me 1 second. Yes, you guys have been going through a mental switchboard, if you will. Okay, this is what you guys have been going through. Maybe you might be, for some of you, might be going through it right now, like your switchboard is like turning on and been flickering on and off. But with this Death card, you guys have realized exactly what needs to be done. No more flickering, no more self-doubt, no more delaying what you feel, because now under this new moon, you guys are going to be pushed to communicate what it is you need to communicate. Now, as we jump down to clarify this, we have the Three of Swords and the Six of Wands. So this is good. Remember I said that this was only temporary, because at the top you have the Six of Wands where you felt like you weren't winning. But as we clarify, now that Page of Swords, which I says it's like the delayed news, but I feel like it was communication to yourself, getting information that you needed to be ordered to communicate what you need to do towards someone. We have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is feeling hurt, feeling pain, maybe, coming out of a situation, coming out of a relationship that perhaps has come to the end, right? Because the Death card, that's what the Death card is something ending. So some of you have come out of a relationship, or you are on the verge of coming out of a situation. But whatever it is, whether it's past or something that's coming up, you're going to win. So actually, when you think you wasn't winning, you actually will win. And I think there's another expression. It says, even when you when you think you have lost the battle, you are winning. Something to that nature. I hate it when I can't think about the exact term or the statement, but I think you guys know where I'm coming from. So even though you thought you was losing, in fact, you will win. You are winning. Even coming out of a very, painful or very, painful situation out of a relationship, right? And you will win. Now, moving on to the Six of Wands, to clarify that energy when you thought you wasn't winning, look what you guys got. You got the Nine of Wands and you got the Five of Wands. A lot of fire energy. So some of you may have fire placements somewhere, maybe your moon or in your rising ascending sign. You might have fire placements because whatever it was, you came out from being a wounded warrior. This is what the Nine of Wands is, feeling like the wounded warrior, because also you didn't gone through all these challenges. One more challenge, you will be successful. That's why the Six of Wands came out with your other the other one, because you guys will win. One more challenge, that is the Ten of Wands. So it's like you're almost there, but you have stood up. You have faced whatever challenge that you have been through or coming out of or about to come out of, because you are determined. You are going to, if anything, if this is something, a situation that has started before the new moon, this new moon, it's going to give you that fire to end whatever it is. So that's why I feel like this is something that has happened for you water signs, and with this new moon in Gemini, because new moons bring new beginnings. It brings endings to create and bring about new beginnings. Okay? Now, speaking about that Death card, to clarify that, we have here the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Okay? So, a lot of Swords energy here. So maybe some of you might have somewhere, you might have air in your placements, somewhere in your placements. But nonetheless, this is leaving something behind that did cause some type of deception. You've been dealing with this person who has deceived you, maybe have cheated on you. If this is pertaining to a relationship for some of you, it's not going to resonate for all of you, right? And you was in a situation that in fact made you stuck. Remember, in my overview toward the end, I did say that we are working on ourselves and our issues, or just simply sorting out or finding out what sorts of behavior we may have had habitually, where now we need to let it go in order to what? To be free. And that's exactly what the Eight of Swords is, letting ourselves free. Being free, releasing ourselves, letting go something that has in fact made us feel stuck in a situation. And if this is something that hasn't transpired already, this is something that you guys will be on the verge of doing with this new moon. Okay? Now let's move over to the next energy of the third house, which is about communication. And so the energies of the card that came out there was the King of Wands, the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, and we have the Ten of Coins. So the Chariot, like I said, is the energy of the Cancer. So this might be for some Cancers out there, some of you that might be dealing with the situation. As well, we have the King of Staff. This is you guys. You are in the energy. Never mind that it is showing in masculine energy, but you guys have taken the position of that of like the King of Wands. You are standing up, coming out of, remember, coming out of that, where it is, coming out from being that wounded warrior, that Nine of Wands. You have fact arisen or rising to that King of Wands, because you have indeed won the fight. You have excelled. You have risen above and beyond whatever situation that you were stuck in or you're about to. Okay? And that's what this is. Now, the Chariot also represents being on the move. It's like looking ahead. You are leaving behind what it is that has hurt you or that has made you stuck, and now you are ready to charge forth. Now, the Cancer sign, you know, it is still within the element of water, so this is kind of you guys' energy, so it may not even particularly mean that it can apply for Cancers. It could be for the Pisces or Scorpios out there, but it's just showing that it's just about the energy, that you guys are ready to charge forth, not looking back, which is very good. And you are to be commended on that. Nobody ever wants to ever feel stuck in a situation that's going to keep them, that's going to hinder their progress from moving forward. Because at the end, overall, you want to get to your 10 of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is an energy of stability. You're looking for something that is going to be long-term, something that's going to be meaningful, right? And something that is going to be solid. Now, this can also just be, speaking of that mental switchboard, this can also be cerebral in terms of how you are thinking, because communication do work hand in hand with our thinking process. Even if it's not communicating with other people, it can be a thinking process that we have within ourselves, internal. And that's what you guys are doing at this time. You are coming out from that mental switchboard. You have internalized at the end what's important for you to come out of feeling stuck, what no longer works for you. And with this new moon, it's going to help you, it's going to propel you to charge ahead without looking back. No more delays, no more hindrance. Okay? Now, to clarify those energies, we have here the Knight of Cups and the Magician. The Magician is one of my favorite major arcanas, because I always feel that the Magician symbolizes someone that is in an illusion. And that's all it is when it comes to any area of our life. If we are stuck in that mindset of being an illusion that we don't have what it takes to come out of something, then that's where we're going to remain. We're not going to see any type of progress or movement. But once we realize, wait a minute, I do have the tools, I do have the resources to change, undo the course in which I want to go, I will be successful. I will succeed. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. You're realizing, because also this kind of stems off somewhat of like the Emperor energy, because it's almost like knowing you have the magic, you have the power to will the way in which you want to go. And to also, if you will, cast out, remove out anyone or anything that stops you from moving ahead. Believe in your own magic. But also, we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is, if you see this image here in this illustration, this is a knight that has an empty cup. It's time for you guys to pour into your cup, but also know your value and loving yourself, that when you love yourself and you communicate that truth, that I am worthy, that I will, after coming out of a situation, I am creating an opportunity for someone to pour into me. Because the person that you poured into, they didn't pour back into you equally. They didn't pour into you. But you also are allowing yourself to pour, or allow yourself to have someone to pour into you. But you got to pour into yourself first, right? And that's exactly what you guys have done, because you have ended something, or you are about to. Now, let's clarify the energy of that King of Wands. And we have here the Three of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, right? So like I just finished saying, give or take, because Six of Pentacles is give and take. It's equal reciprocity, right? But it's also calling for you to understand that, you know, when it comes to even your mindset and how you think, there has to be balance, right? And then the Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in, right? It's like, again, coming out from that wounded warrior energy, you have succeeded. Three of Wands is someone that have made a choice. They know now where they want to go. They know the direction, like the Chariot. They know the direction that they are going. And so now they're not looking back at the past. They're not looking back. They are forging ahead with something new, having a new perspective, waiting to start all over if need be, but it represents a new beginning, and that's what this new moon is about, new beginnings, right? And then as we close out the clarifying the energy of the Ten of Pentacles, guys, we have the Five of Swords and the Four of Swords. And I'm trying to think, did the Four of Swords come out for you guys before? Maybe it was with the other reading. Nonetheless, the Four of Swords is having self-reflective, because the Four of Swords is an energy of taking a pause, resting, needing to rest, right? But I think that you guys have already done this, because you have figured out, coming out of a very argumentative type of situation, a situation that brought you pain, conflict, you know, whatever it is, you was ready to now speak your truth in communication. And now that you have spoken your truth in communication, you are not regretting your decision, right? Because the Four of Swords is also like thinking about what it is, but something that you are not going to um, feel regretful about. You're not going to feel that the decision you made is going to keep you anymore being stuck. You're going to forge ahead with victory, knowing that the decision you made was the best for you. Okay? And that's what that is. You're coming out any type of conflict. Hi. Saying hey to my kitty, Safarin. Hi. Mommy's almost done. Okay? Aw. Hi. Come here. Come. Say hello. Say hello out there. Hi. All right. Okay, guys. So, with that being said, you're coming out of conflict. You're coming out any type of, situations that in fact got you in that source of energy where you felt like you have to, you know, be in constant fights, worries, whatever it is, you are letting it go. Now, getting to that last energy of Mercury, what messages do Mercury have for you, water signs, as we close out? So your final messages was the Nine of Wands, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Cups. Okay? So, again, Nine of Wands coming up again. It came out earlier. This is the card of the Wounded Warrior. The fact that it has come out under messages toward the very end of your reading means, in fact, this is like confirmation. You guys have won. So when you thought you was losing, you was actually winning. It just didn't look like it because you was going through that mental switchboard. You was back and forth and conflicting yourself. And maybe, for a moment, the situation wanted you to kind of conflict you. But in fact, you stood your ground. You remained firm. You gave it your best. And you decided to stand up and to get past those challenges. And the Four of Swords coming out again because we did have it come out as well. So that also indicates to me putting the emphasis on the fact that you guys, upon self-reflecting and realizing that you needed to communicate, because whenever you are by yourself, that is like a form of communication. When we go into solitude, that gives us the clarity we need to figure things out when things are not balance, or when we feel out of sorts and we don't have the answer. We need to get into that solitude type of moment to really figure things out and to get the answers we need so that we can proceed ahead. And then with the Four of Cups is just basically saying that through all of this, particularly for those of you that have come out of a situation or a relationship, the Four of Cups is like hope and promise that love will come your way, that you will be in this Ten of Pentacles energy coming up in the future, right? So that's what I got for you, my water signs. I hope that this reading was, and one more thing, as I look at the bottom of the deck, after I pulled out the cards, we got the Empress. This is just indicating to me, a spirit was guiding me to just pull this out toward the very end. The Empress is an energy of loving, being loving, nurturing. Nurture yourself, love yourself, my water signs, okay? Because at the end, you will be victorious. You will have that happiness, and you will be given that opportunity to be loved as you pour into yourselves. Always pour into yourselves first, and that will open the doorway for someone to pour into you because you deserve it. All right, water signs, this is it. I hope it was helpful. If it was, send some fire to that thumbs button to give me a like. Please share your feedback on what you think about this reading. And until the next moon phase reading, everyone, I'm wishing you a wonderful Sunday evening. Peace, love, and light. Namaste.